Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have gathered here for a press briefing, clarification regarding some media news about the death of late Yaruti Taket and uh, and the police action in this case. So, first of all, some of the facts that were mispresented in the media, and in fact, those facts were mispresented by one of a student union. So, I would just like to clarify on the facts and correct the facts of this case. First fact that was mispresented was that the dead body of the deceased was found on 16th night on Ayang side of Raneghat bridge. This is factually incorrect. The lady Yaruti Taket was dead in Itanagar on 17th at 9:45 p.m. not on 16th night. So she was on 16th night when recovered from the highway side towards Ayang side of Ranaghat Chegits. She was taken to BPGH hospital, and next day she was referred to RK Mission hospital, and after spending about 24 hours in RK Mission hospital, she succumbed to death on 17th night 9:45 p.m. So the allegation that the boy had murdered the lady and thrown her dead body on the road on 16th night is false. Number two, there was allegation that on 18th September a complaint was given to Pasighat PS, and no progress was made in this case till 22nd September. This is false. On 18th September itself, because the nature of complaint was suspicious, in the sense that the complainant himself was not sure about what had happened with the lady. So on the basis of that, an unnatural death case under section 174 CRPC, Pasighat PS UD case number 16/21 was registered on 18th September itself, and the investigation in that case started. So we started gathering the circumstantial evidence, because in this case there was only the boy and the girl who were present at the scene of crime during the commission of offense. So there was no eyewitness as such when the crime had happened. So in that case we started gathering circumstantial evidences. In this case we started calling people who were there with them on that night before the incident and after the incident. So their statements were recorded, and then simultaneously we started our efforts to nab down the suspect on whom there were allegations that he would have caused some foul play with the girl. So we started with our efforts. On 20th, WT message in this regard was sent to OCPS Bowling to find out the boy, because the boy has arguably ran away from Pasighat and went to his village in Siang district. So on 22nd September, the boy was brought to Pasighat police station and interrogated. The third fact that was mispresented is, till 22nd September no case was registered. I would like to clarify in this case is, on 18th a UD case was registered, as and when the investigation in this UD case would have brought some foul play into our notice, straight away a regular case would have been registered. But till 22nd evening, till the time we did not interrogate the boy and did not gather the circumstantial evidences, the facts about foul play was not clear. It was only on 22nd September that there was the facts corroborated that yes, there is a suspected foul play in this case. So on the basis of that, on 23rd September, Pasighat PS case number 105/21 under section 304, that is culpable homicide not amounting to murder, was registered. Fourth fact that has been mispresented is, the girl was kidnapped by the boy. In that case, I have to clarify that based on the technical evidence that we have gathered, based on the CDR analysis, The boy and girl were in regular touch since last 20 days because they first contacted each other on Facebook during Solung festival and regarding some donations, and after that they were in continuous touch over mobile phone or Facebook. They did not meet each other physically before the intervening night of 15th and 16th. On 15th in the afternoon, the boy contacted the girl to meet at some place, so the girl denied that she is not free. On 15th night, the girl and the boy met at a wine shop near Paglek. They got some wine from there, and then they went to Ayang side of Raneghat bridge. On the highway side, they sat down somewhere, had drinks together. So this fact that the girl was kidnapped on 16th night is factually incorrect. Next allegation and fact that was mispresented is that there was a case of rape. So now yesterday we have received the postmortem report in this case. For the postmortem report also we pursued regularly with BPGH hospital so that we get the report before time, as this was getting into a sensational case. So on the basis of postmortem report, the report clearly says that the pelvic cavity, the pelvic bones, the genital organs and uterus all were intact and normal. So there is no rape as such. There is no evidence of rape committed on the girl as such. And in general, now this was the factually incorrect statements that were given, on which I wanted to clarify. In general, what do we do in a UD case like this, where there is no eyewitnesses? We have to base our investigation on circumstantial evidences, on the things that happened pre the commission of crime and post commission of crime, and then getting the statements of people who were associated with the persons involved before the crime and after the crime. So only after getting the statements from them and after the sustained interrogation of the accused boy Dilo Tatak, we arrived at this conclusion that there was certainly a foul play in this case. Accordingly, a regular case under section 304 IPC was registered. Now, as per the postmortem report, whatever reconstruction of scene, we also went for reconstruction of scene of crime in this case, with whatever statement the accused has given about the night that has whatever happened during that night, and gathering the statements of the people who were aware about the facts of this case. We went for reconstruction of crime scene, and after reconstruction of the crime scene and the postmortem report that has been given, almost everything has been corroborated. Further investigation is on in this, because we still have to corroborate some of the other things through technical inputs and studying CCTV cameras. If there is something that if there is something or some new fact that would come in the investigation of the case, we would alter the sections as per the law. One more fact that is important to be brought to the knowledge of people who are concerned with this case is, on the basis of sustained interrogation of the boy, and one fact came out that the girl and boy, after having drinks, a lot of drinks on the highway side, the boy wanted to take the girl towards Bodak side. So the boy forcefully, the girl and boy rode the two-wheeler, and then they were moving towards Bodak side. The girl did not want to go to the Bodak side, so boy forcefully was taking the girl to Bodak side, and in that, while doing that, in the meantime, the girl jumped over the two-wheeler, and then she fell down off the road. But there was one more allegation that police is treating it an accident case. No, we are not treating it as an accident case. We have registered a FIR under 304 IPC, which is culpable homicide not amounting to murder. So the girl falling down the two-wheeler on the road, even the injury marks that have been brought out, and the conclusion that has been given in the post-mortem report are such that the girl had abraded contusion on lower back. Lower back, there was abraded contusion here of around area of 42 centimeter into 12 centimeter, brownish red in color. So the girl fell down on her lower back, and then there was a swelling on a scalp on a occipital region. So there was a blunt trauma on the scalp on backhand side, and there was one injury mark below the right ear and one injury mark on left eye of the girl. So that is what is coming in the postmortem report, and it is somewhere corroborating with the interrogation of the sustained interrogation of the accused, that the girl might have jumped over from the scooty to save herself, in order to save herself, and then she got this blunt trauma. The cause of death given in the postmortem is also extradural hematoma due to blunt trauma. Further investigation is on in this process, because we still have to corroborate some other things through technical inputs and studying CCTV cameras. If there is something if there is something or some new fact that would come in the investigation of the case, we would alter the sections as per the law. Thank you.